How do you marry diversity around the boardroom in the context of the scientific legacy and the culture and what you're hoping to continue to do as a business?
In a company that is driven by science, technology, engineering, you need a couple of things for sure. One is you need intellectual curiosity, because without that, you don't get innovation. Diversity is the fuel for innovation, in my opinion. Diversity fuels the innovation engine in a way that nothing else can, because you're getting all the different points of views and opinions into the debate very early. And as we challenge projects and sometimes shock some of our investors in the process, we are brutal and quite honest about how a board should work.
You've been thinking very differently to most companies about how you're structuring the nomination committee, and you also have a societal value committee. And I just found that fascinating, and I think listeners would love to hear your perspectives.
I believe that the recruiting and nominations process has got to be made up of people who are as diverse as the candidates you want to appraise. And without that, you will not successfully drive towards a diverse organization. So we had a very simple solution in Johnson Matthey. Everybody is on the NOMCO. So the board is made up of a diverse group of individuals who are all independent, mixed gender, different nationalities. They all are equal members of the NOMCO. They will be involved in all the processes of the NOMCO, including recently recruiting a new chief executive, and work on the succession levels below that within the organization to ensure that it is as diverse as the board can make it, starting with a diverse board. So I think that not having this small subset of people who automatically recruit in their own image is a very powerful way forward. And I think if there's one governance barrier to diversity that a board can change, it is around the nominations committee. The secrecy should not be there. It should be transparent to the whole board, and the whole board must be engaged.
Do you feel reassured, Patrick, about the quality and the quantity of diverse talent that's coming through the executive pipeline?
I think it is happening faster than people appreciate. And it's probably happening further down in the FTSE than you might imagine. And this is true in most companies. At every opportunity to recruit, it's an opportunity to do two things. It's an opportunity to both increase the overall capability of the company and increase the diversity of the company, because that will improve its creativity, its innovation capability, and other capabilities beside.
It's of great value to have a diverse board, but as chair, you also need to get the best out of the board in terms of different personalities, the different cultural perspectives, especially in a pandemic world as well, where probably physical meetings have been few and far between. What's the lens you use in making sure that the culture around the board team is as inclusive as it can be, and you're getting the best out of your fellow board members and therefore collective outcomes for the company?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I have learned over the years, both in virtual and non-virtual meetings, is that you must ensure that everybody contributes to the discussion. Because if you've recruited somebody into the board who cannot contribute, then that's a problem anyway. So starting from the assumption that you have a very capable, diverse board, some cultural norms require positive engagement rather than sit and wait. And what I tend to do is just do a tour de table from time to time, which I find an extremely powerful way of generating full engagement. Quite often real surprises come out from somebody who perhaps you were not expecting to contribute such a valuable perspective. And because the entire board knows that that is part of my behavior as a chairman, they don't get fazed or surprised by. In fact, they expect it. And quite often, at the end of a decision process or at the end of a board meeting, we'll actually have a feedback, which is every member of the board gives back to the board 2 or 3 points of learning and feedback for the whole board to be able to improve. Finding the feedback from each member of the board and encouraging it is one way of getting the board to work better and better. Also, you get to know one another better and better. And especially in a virtual world where some board members have never met their other colleagues physically, then that's a real issue. And we have to straddle time zones of some extreme in our board because we have one board member based in China who's been locked down for a considerable period of time. But it doesn't reduce her ability to engage. It doesn't reduce her ability to be heard or to make extremely valuable contribution.